All right. Just talking about the other night, got great college football game, great setting. The stadium was electric. I said it the other night, just really appreciate the fans and how Pirate Nation showed up, and we're energized about this team. And you saw two really good football teams go at it. Obviously, there's some big moments for both teams throughout the game. Tough to lose that one. I said it the other night, and I went back and I've watched the film multiple times now, and I've watched it in sequence. And at the end of the day, we had, the players played really hard. I thought we competed well, very physical. We put ourselves in positions to make plays. We had guys in the right places. At the end of the day, App made some plays when they had to, and we didn't make some plays when we needed to. You get in tight ball games against really good competition, and in a 2-point game, that doesn't take much. You have one play that goes the other direction, and you're sitting here talking about a huge win against one of the better teams in our schedule. So, hats off to App. I said it the other night. Coach Clark and his bunch, they made the plays when they had to win the ball game. We've got to continue to work to improve so that we're making those plays. We're making the catches, we're making the kicks, we're getting the stops, but we certainly had our opportunities. Everybody saw them. And when you look back at the film, you probably see even more. But the thing is, you got to move on from it. Have a big ball game this week on the road against a very good Liberty team. I talked to the players yesterday about, you can't let that one beat you twice. So it's got to really, if I'd have had a little bit different message, but a lot of the same meaning, you can't carry that one into this week if you'd wanted to tonight. So it's really a reset and back to 1-0, which is kind of the mentality we talked about going into the season. And certainly we have a great opportunity coming up on Saturday night. So, questions?
Coach, with Jake, it seemed like he was a lot more deliberate with his decision making, and maybe at times there were some open guys he either missed or didn't throw the ball to. Is it like now finding maybe the happy medium between being aggressive and also being careful with the football?
It is. We want him to play free and aggressive, and I thought he did a lot of good things the other night. I think we have some other guys that have to help him out. We had a couple times we had mistakes by running backs. Young guys trying to give him some playing time, and they make a mistake in protection, and all of a sudden he's pressured, or a mistake in a pass concept where their presence would have affected the defense and the windows he had to throw in. And obviously we had some guys that need to make a couple of catches. I think that he's continued to progress. I think we get everybody, make sure they're doing their job to help the team.
The offense was very effective early on Saturday night, especially when you look at those first 10 or so plays, which usually offense coordinator scripts. Is Coach Baker mature beyond his years in picking up on things on film to put into that script?
Well, I think he's done a good job in all the games, really, of having a really good, opening script where something he's seen on film he thinks we can capitalize on. And I spoke to a group of donors Friday afternoon, and they asked about any wrinkle. I said, well, just make sure you're awake on the third play of the game, because we thought that we could get him in empty and have a guy wide open, which we did. We caught him in a too high defense, and Winston did a good job with the bender down the middle, and Jake threw a great ball to him, and so a great way to start the game. But I thought that we had other drives throughout the game. Obviously, we started the second half, got a stop, took the ball, drove it deep into App territory. The big thing when you look at our drives from the other night is we got to start finishing drives better. We had the ball down deep in their territory a lot throughout the game and never could get into the end zone again. And so that's the big focus now, is finishing those drives.
Coach, on tape, what do you see from the Liberty defense that you're going to face this weekend?
I think very athletic defensive front. They play, 4 inside backers, a couple guys outside that all can run. You know, they have a very athletic defense, some guys that can really run back there. You know, they played a lot of man coverage last year. They've mixed up their coverages a little bit this year. But you see a very sound group. They play very hard. You know, it's going to be a challenge Saturday night.
Going over to the other side of the ball, it kind of seems like their offense goes as Quentin Cooley goes. We're unsure about his status for Saturday night. Does that bring in extra challenges if he's unable to go? Because it seems like so much of their offense is based around what he's able to do in the backfield.
Well, I think the big one's Slater. That's what makes their offense go. You know, Cooley's a great player, but you know, and we're expecting him to play Saturday night. So, unless we find out something different, that's what we'll expect. But the quarterback is really the guy that makes them go. I think he does a great job managing the ball game, doesn't put the ball at risk. You know, and that's, you know, when you're running a lot of option type stuff, sometimes you can put the ball at risk. But obviously he's a great operator. And then, you know, I think Cooley benefits from the standpoint of he's a very talented player. But then when you have, you know, other things that the defense has to account for, and they can't just focus on, you know, the dive back, then that opens some things up. So, you know, we got to do a good job of, you know, taking care of all 3 phases.
Coach, you obviously know Coach Chadwell pretty well. These coaching staffs, you all faced off quite a bit. So,
Yep.
What's kind of that chess match like? What do you remember about previous meetings?
Well, you know, you can always count on them being a hard-nosed bunch. You know, and he's done a good job everywhere he's been. We've obviously faced him at multiple stops. You know, they're always going to be able to run the football effectively, and then they'll have a passing game off of that. They're going to be sound in all phases. And he obviously has a very talented roster, and so the combination of, you know, the job that they do and, you know, the talent that they have, it makes it a formidable foe. You know, I think Coach Durkin does a great job with the offensive line. You know, he's one of the better O-line coaches, you know, probably in the country, and you know, he's got this bunch playing really, really well.
Coach, probably the toughest team so far that you guys have seen. It's also the second game on the road. Is there anything specific about playing on the road that you want to clean up in that first time when you look at this weekend?
Well, I think playing on the road is a challenge every week. And yeah, we got a tremendous challenge this week with Liberty. We had a tremendous challenge last week at home. You know, you got to have just kind of the road warrior mentality. You're not going to have, you know, Pirate Nation sitting up there, you know, dominating the stadium. You know, I have no doubt we're going to have plenty of purple and gold in the stands up there, no farther away than it is. But, you know, we got to go in there and understand that, you know, I don't think they've lost a game at home in 2 years. So they've protected home turf pretty well. So, you know, you got to just go up there with the mindset you got to find a way to overcome that.
Any other questions?
Coach, just with Taylor Jackson, obviously, he's in your program for what,
Yep.
4 years. Just kind of a unique matchup there, and you have to worry about changing anything and knowing some of the stuff you guys do.
And we talked about that this summer. We've changed, you know, so much of our stuff that he will be familiar with to try to protect that. I think we're okay. You know, we've changed up our signals, all of our signals after spring practice. So everything's new there. But obviously Taylor's a smart player, knows our personnel very, very well. So I'm sure he's able to help them as far as, you know, scouting report and outlook and everything.
Anything else? Thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot. And I mispronounced